from stately Berglund Manor, and just about ready to demonstrate the Technicolor yawn after crushing an entire box of macaroni and cheese like I'm some 21-year-old. This is Kurt Berglund with a Pine Tar Baseball Negro League's Great Team Set preview and instructional video. Pine Tar Baseball has a Kickstarter on now for your perusal, for your review. I'm linking it in the description below this video. 12 Negro League teams for Pine Tar Baseball are in the Kickstarter. We have previewed 10 of those teams. Tonight we do number 11. And tomorrow we do number 12. And I don't know. Then we'll do a wrap-up show, I guess. So that's what's coming. I will also link the website for Pine Tar Baseball below, ttlbaseballgame.com. ttlbaseballgame.com. All right, tonight we have a first place club from 1933 based in Chicago. That's right. The Chicago American Giants from 1933, first place champions of the Negro National League. Their manager, Dave Malarcher. And if you know your Negro League's history, you know that Dave Malarcher was an excellent manager. Well, he was an excellent infielder, but he was also an excellent manager. This team ranked number 11 all time by Jim Riley, the writer of the Biographical Encyclopedia of the Negro Baseball Leagues. Number 11 for Jim Riley. And for Dick Clark, not that Dick Clark, Negro League's historian, ranks them number 15. This team, we've talked about rosters in previous videos. This team has 15 carded players in this set. We know that the Negro League teams ranged in roster size somewhere between 14 on the low end and 16, 17, maybe 18 on the high end. The roster for this team includes Willie Cornelius, Willie Foster, Willie Powell, Melvin Powell, Joe Lillard on the mound. 5 pitchers. Position players, Larry Brown, Mule Suttles, Jack Marshall, Alex Radcliffe, Willie Wells, Steel Arm Davis, Turkey Stearns, Nat Rogers, Quincy Troop, and Andy Drake are the 15 that you will get with this club. It's a great team, but it's a veteran team. 8 players were 28 of the 15 players that you will get cards of in this set. 8 of those 15 were 29 or older. 5 of the 15 were 32 or older. 1/3 of the roster. And in 1933, playing ball when you're 32 or over said something. Team stats: offense, batting average, third in batting average in the Negro National League. Second in on-base percentage, second in slugging percentage. For pitching, earned run average, they were 5th. Walk to strikeout to walk ratio, they were 3rd. In whip, they were 5th. It's a team built on offense. Let's look at the individual stats. Catcher Larry Brown, not known as a great offensive player, had a slash line of 304, average 385 on base, 374 slugging. That's a lot of production from the vast majority of Negro League's catchers. He's not on the Biz Mackey Josh Gibson level, but he's having a good year here. Third baseman Alex Radcliffe, brother of Double Duty Radcliffe, hit 338 with a 406 on base and a 493 slugging average. But this team did what it did because of its big star, Turkey Stearns. Turkey Stearns hit 354, 418 was his on-base average, and he slugged 600. And he played great center field with an amazing arm. To give you an idea of the talent on this team, Mule Suttles and Willie Wells had off years, but they still finished in first place. On the mound, Willie Foster, for my money, definitely a top 10 Negro Leagues pitcher, had an ERA of 2.47. Willie Powell had an ERA of 3.59, but this team is not going to beat you with its arms. It's going to beat you with its bats and its legs. Let's talk about what's going on in 1933. The backdrop for the success that this team had. With 15 million Americans unemployed, Franklin Roosevelt took office. Adolf Hitler became Chancellor of Germany. Technicolor advanced to a 3-color process. Tennessee Valley Authority brought electricity and flood control to the rural South. Farmers plowed under their crops and killed their animals to raise prices. Others fled the Southwest in the worst drought ever. The Kansas City Monarchs shared roadside camps with the fleeing Okies. Prohibition ended. The NAACP began a widespread campaign against segregation. King Kong, the movie, made actress Fay Wray a Hollywood idol, and Babe Ruth homered in the very first All-Star game. Let's talk about batting order for this team. This is a commonly used batting order that they had. Leading off at shortstop, Willie Wells. Batting second left field, Steel Arm Davis. Batting third and center field, Turkey Stearns. Batting fourth in right field, Nat Rogers. Batting fifth at first base, Mule Suttles. Batting sixth at third base, Alec Radcliffe. Batting seventh behind the plate, Larry Brown. And batting eighth and playing second base, Jack Marshall. And of course the pitcher bats ninth. In this series, we asked 2 questions consistently of each team. Why will this team win your league or tournament? And then why won't it win your league or tournament? What are its advantages? What are its disadvantages? What are its strengths? What are its weaknesses? They will win your tournament because their offense is going to carry them there. Turkey Stearns just might be the most impressive player in Negro League's history. And that counts Oscar Charleston, that counts Josh Gibson. Turkey Stearns is the real deal, and you may not have heard of him, but if you get this set, you're going to see just how devastating an offensive player he was. He was a 5-tool player. Just an amazing player, a great center fielder, and could hit and hit with power and throw very, very well as well. This is his team. This will be his title if this team wins it. Now, you can pitch around Turkey Stearns, but if you do that on this team, then You get the pleasure of facing Nat Rogers, Mule Suttles, and Alec Radcliffe. You probably don't want to do that. So I think most teams are going to be taking their chances trying to pitch to Turkey Stearns and his .600 slugging average and his .350 on base and his .350 batting average, and will take the consequences. Why might this team struggle in a tournament or a league that you set up with these teams? Well, that would be on the mound, because other than Willie Foster, who certainly has big-time credentials as a starting pitcher and definitely matches up against the Leon Day, Satchel Paige, Dick Redding type of pitching. After Willie Foster, it gets a little bit thin, and there might be too many runs that this team has to score to catch up. So that might be their Achilles heel. There are great Negro League teams, and then there are great Negro League teams, and this one is going to have to prove that it pitches well enough to be able to get the job done. But Turkey Stearns is the real deal. Make no mistake. All right. Some reminders. Check out the Kickstarter below if you'd like to make sure that you can get your hands on this team for the Pine Tar Baseball Negro League's Great Team set. Check out Pine Tar Baseball at ttlbaseballgame.com. We need your support with the Kickstarter to make this set a reality. So take a look, go to the website, see what's there. These videos are going to be left up for you to use after you purchase the teams as well. So if you want to get a refresher on what the strengths and weaknesses of each team were, you can come right here and do that. I'm going to leave them up. Tomorrow, we do the 12th team, the 1947 New York Cubans. And there's going to be some familiar names on that team that you'll recognize as well. Definitely a great team. So that's the team that we have left. Then we'll do a wrap-up show after that to kind of get you ready for things. And then it'll be time for the Kickstarter. So check out the Kickstarter. Thank you for spending some time with me tonight. My name's Kurt Berglund. Please click like and subscribe to my channel. And check out the Kickstarter for Pine Tar Baseball Negro League's Great Team set. Thanks and so long, everybody. Have a good night.